Hi, my loves. Welcome back to the Starscartel channel. If you don't know, I am Star, and I am here with a podcast, you guys. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Someone asked in the comment section if I would do a live stream. Y'all, it's so ironic that you asked that because I've been thinking about doing one. I'm thinking about doing one this week, either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on if God says the same. Okay, y'all, I have to make sure that, well, first and foremost, that we have our light bill up to date so that I can go live. I probably could do live, like a live stream in a public space, but y'all already know I'm shy as is, and I'm trying to, dip my feet in the idea of doing a live stream every week with you guys. I've been trying to get this together for years, like literally years, okay? So we gonna try it again. I'm gonna try it again this week for y'all, okay? But anywho, let's get into the message. So the message I have is a dream. In this dream, I was babysitting for someone. Um, I was babysitting two older children, almost like young adult age, as was a baby. Um, while I was babysitting, I was at the person who I was babysitting for's house. I realized that the baby crawled off, wandered off somewhere, and I end up finding this tunnel that attaches their house to another house. I crawl through this tunnel, and once I get to the other side, I find this stash full of money and gold. I grabbed the baby as well as enough out of the stash so that like it's unnoticeable, and I go back through the tunnel. Now when I get back to the regular house, I realized that the parents had texted me asking me if I could put their dogs back in the house because they had gotten free. However, I took a while to text them back and they told me not to worry about it anymore. The scripture comes from Sirach 43:11. Behold the rainbow, then bless its maker, for majestic indeed is its splendor. It spans the heavens with its glory, this bow bent by the mighty hand of God. His rebuke marks out the path for the lightning and speeds the arrows of his judgment to their goal. At its storehouse is At it, the storehouse is open, and like vultures, the clouds hurry forth. In his majesty, he gives the storm its power and breaks off the hailstones. The thunder of his voice makes the earth writhe. Before his might, the mountains quake. A word from him drives on the south wind, the angry north wind, the hurricane, and the storm. Okay, so I feel like with this scripture, God is saying for someone, you are really worried about not being compensated for something that you are doing. Like, I feel like it's something that is seen as a job, but it's not exactly like, okay, like in this dream, I was babysitting for someone, and it was kind of more so as a favor than, like it was an actual job. Like I was just doing it out the kindness of my heart. And like, even though, in natural world, I would say if you're babysitting for someone, even though it wasn't their house, but you're not supposed to take nothing. But I feel like this, like God is saying that you will be compensated, and you will be compensated in such a way, like even if it's not directly by the hand of the person who you are working for, or directly by the hand of the person that is receiving whatever whatever it is, like whoever the customer is, it doesn't exactly mean this person is directly going to compensate you for your work, but God is saying that you will be compensated for your work. Sometimes We do things in life and we're doing them out of the kindness of our hearts, and we're not expecting anything in return. Like when I first started making my videos, and even so now, like I was not expecting to receive anything like in return. It was just something that God told me to do, so I did it because I want to smoke with God. But in the midst of that, God always finds his own ways of blessing me. And sometimes he'll put it upon other people's heart to bless me out of nowhere. And, I just feel like God is saying for someone, by you doing something out of the kindness of your heart, just out of, just genuinely doing something, it is going to leads you directly to a fortune. And even so, when I was led to this fortune, I feel like it's another part of the message that it doesn't mean that every single thing that you could possibly get, you're going to just take it. I feel like God is saying not to be greedy. Be careful not to be greedy. Be careful not to take too much, because in the dream, in that perspective of it, if I would have taken like the entire stash, it would have been, like I'm not even sure whose it belonged to, and that's to say, like, whoever it belonged to, I don't believe it was the person who I was babysitting for, but they did have access to it. So if it was theirs, that could make them upset. Or if it was, someone that knew them or knew that they had access to it, they would be upset. And I just feel like God is saying that not to be greedy. It's not good for us to be greedy. It's not good for us to have more than what we need. I kind of talked about this a little bit, but it is kind of a evil in this world to know that there are people that are literally starving, that are literally without, while you are, with more than enough. I couldn't see myself being someone that had billions and millions of dollars while knowing that there are people that are without. I don't know if my conscience would sit well with me. And I feel like that is one thing that God is saying to be careful of. While it is nice to have some of the wonderful things in life, the luxury things in life. It's nice to have nice things, but at the same time, it is not good to have more than what you need, while looking at other people and seeing that they barely have enough. And, I feel like Snickers, I feel like her getting upset is like, it could be part of the message. How could you sit, I just remember when I was in Jamaica, and I had all of my little luxury purses, all of my luxury items, while simultaneously seeing people that, being around people that weren't able to eat for the day, or even in myself being in a position where I was just kind of like, okay, I have this nice purse, but what am I going to eat today? And how am I going to, I got to go and try to sell these lashes, or go and try to sell some of this makeup so I can eat today. And I realized that you can't eat these purses, you can't eat shoes, you can't eat none of that stuff. Yeah, it's Chanel, that's nice. Yeah, it's Louis, that's nice, but that doesn't mean that it's really, like, is it really worth something? And I just feel like God is saying not to be too greedy, because greed does come with consequences. So God is going to definitely ensure that whatever it is that you are doing, you will be compensated for your hard work. You will be compensated for your effort. You will be compensated for your energy, because it is not fair for anybody, no matter what kind of job you have or what kind of position you are in, to be properly compensated for their hard work, their effort, and their energy. However, don't be greedy. If God gives you some kind of job or some kind of opportunity where it's kind of like, I feel like easy, I don't want to say exactly easy money, but I almost feel like it's kind of like it is an easy way to earn more, or it's easy for you to go overboard. God is saying be careful of doing that, because along with doing that, you bring attention to yourself if you start having too much stuff. I feel like it was meant for me to leave the excess and that stash behind, because it would have caused me to want to buy flashy things. That's what a lot of times when people are big in, doing illegal activities, and they start getting a lot of money, what really gets them in trouble is when they start bringing a lot of attention to themselves. They got to buy all the flashy jewelry. Then they got to have the flashy cars. They got to have the flashy clothes. They got to have all the flashy stuff. God is saying, be careful with getting too much flashy stuff. Be careful with being so flashy. With these blessings, you don't have to, you ain't got to do all that. And just because it's easy for you to put yourself in a position where you can get all of these flashy things and you can afford certain things, it doesn't always mean that you should. Okay. Don't forget that God blesses us for the little things. The less materialistic things that your heart desires, the more that God is going to give you. So that's the message, okay? And God is saying, once again with the scripture, God is basically saying, like, if God can so easily control the weather, so easily control the clouds, the stars, the sun, the rain, the thunder, then you have to understand that it's nothing for him to ensure that what you were working for, what effort that you put in, what work you have put in for the betterment of his kingdom. Because, I feel like the children are a representation of God's children. And the parent is, it's like God is the parent. And God is saying, okay, you're watching over my children for me. Thank you. Don't worry. Just because God is not physically able to put the money in your hand does not mean that God is not going to make sure you get the money. Okay. That's the message. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces. Thank you to everybody who donates. I truly appreciate it. It does help tremendously. If you want to do so, you can use my Cash App, or you can use my website link. I am editing my website right now. A few people were asking about my life coaching. I am getting that together for you guys. Currently working on that. As soon as it's up, I'll let you guys know. And for anybody that would like to get me and my husband something for our wedding, our registry is down below. Just use the Amazon link. And yeah, today we actually just made 6 months, our 6 month anniversary since we've been married. Okay, and it's not really that long. It's not a long time, but it's something. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Deuces.